So I took a nap today, which at this point seems just like a epic mistake. It's midnight. Took a nap. Woke up. Just been doing stuff. Feel like I'm probably never going to sleep again. It was nice. Naps are cool. Don't do them often. Almost never. But whenever I do one, I seem to like them. But now I'm like wide awake. I don't think I'm ever going to sleep again. Anyway, moving on from that. Day 20, gratitude. Great. Is this okay to do? Grateful for the whole day. It was just an epic day. Like nothing out of the ordinary happened. It was just all good stuff from top to bottom. Good morning. Went to class, 6:30, worked out. Good workout with a buddy. 10 rounds for time, 3 power cleans, 165, 15 wall ball shots. Quick workout. But it was good to go head to head. Had a coaches meeting. Worked. Beautiful weather outside all day. Everybody and their mother brought their dog to the gym. Just super fun to see. A friend of ours got a new puppy bulldog. Super cool. I don't think my oldest had met one. So he's got the bulldog. Riven was pretty fired up for that. More outside time. Work is going along pretty well, which is very cool recently. So grateful for the whole day. Just really liked it. It stood out in a nice way. But like I said, nothing extraordinary. Just like all the little things. Good chats in the gym, talking to people. And then, think about this. I was talking to somebody in the gym today. And probably shared how I'm not like, I like sports. I like contests, like competition. But I don't say things like we when I talk about a specific team or like my team or our team. I don't say things like that. Used to. But I don't know, just not really my thing anymore, which is cool. But I like all of the fanfare around it. I think it's so cool. And young lady in the gym today came in wearing a huge Eagles cape. And to be honest, if I had to pick a dog in the fight, up until today, I'd lean toward the Chiefs. And the reason is, I think it's statistically more difficult to be a repeat champion than, the new champion that comes in. And so I like that. Like, you just don't get to see a lot of that stuff. I don't know, I feel like everyone has love-hate relationships with multiple-time winners. People are probably like, somebody out there is probably grinding their teeth because I said that it'd be cool if the Chiefs won. But then, young lady in the gym, coached her a bunch. She's awesome. Whole family goes to the gym, which is really cool. And she was wearing an Eagles cape. It got me so fired up. And I know they're Eagles fans, so I was asking her. I said, obviously you're excited for the Eagles. And she was saying that this weekend's her birthday. And her favorite team is the Eagles. How cool is it to watch your favorite team in the championship, Super Bowl, or if it was any other sport, on your birthday? Then what if they win? What a fucking good birthday. I was just thinking about that, how cool that would be. So, and statistically, there's probably lots of other people out there where this is their birthday weekend and they're a fan of one of these two teams. But I know this person, so I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I want the Eagles to win so she can have an even more epic birthday. That's badass. Probably will watch the Super Bowl. Any excuse to eat appetizers. That's really what I'll do. The TV will be on, and I will be up to my forehead in pigs in a blanket and hopefully some chicken wings. And, you just can't beat a good cheese and a cracker. So excited for that. There's something else I wanted to chat about today. We talked about the workout. Oh, man. I was talking to a buddy of mine I work with, and he was just talking about how his kid is obsessed with root beer, knows everything about root beer, judges all places they go out on the quality of the root beer. And we've kind of talked about topics like this before, but I think it's always a good reminder. And, it's funny. I'm going off on a little tangent here. I've said this a bunch. We've talked about this before. But when I think about just the different ways we think, how we approach the world and the day, I think we have this internal desire probably to win the game, check the box. Like, oh, I've totally locked in this mental approach or, this philosophy that I want to or this way I want to live my life. I've got it. Check the box. It's done. My outlook, I've achieved this perfect outlook that I want to have. And that's just not how we work. Humans can be very consistent, but fundamentally based on by the way we are, a lot of inconsistency. And so I think it's funny. I make myself laugh a little bit. I've talked about this before. And it's like, well, yeah, some of these things, and I've been thinking about most of my life, if not most of my adult life, most of my entire life, thinking about some of these things, and they're recurring topics, and they come and they go. And sometimes I, execute these, what I believe to be good habits for my life very well. And other times they, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. They come and they go. So yes, talked about it before, but it bears talking about again for sure. And will as the years come on, because we're certainly not perfect, and the work doesn't stop in that. And I also guess that's kind of what makes it fun. I used to joke that when I started doing CrossFit, I thought there was going to be like a level 99, and you beat that level and you win. You beat the high score, you beat the game, and that's not how it works at all. And the more you get into it, you realize like, oh, I'm just going to get fitter and stronger and faster, and everything's going to get harder. And it's just this, and then things happen in life, and you go back to it for a little bit. And I think it is that journey that makes that's so interesting. But anyway, talking to a buddy, and he's talking about his kid, and how his kid is like the resident root beer expert and really obsessed with it. And, I paused, and I'm starting to have this habit when I've been talking to a couple of my friends where they'll say something, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea to talk about the podcast. And I'll just shut down the conversation because I just want to keep it, I want to save it for this. And so that's starting to happen, which is probably horrifically annoying and not conducive to building good friendships. Whatever. I'm just stealing it. I'm just using you for your content, friends. Deal with it and your ideas and your personal reflections on life. So anyway, resident expert on root beer. And so I was saying, man, it's so funny how kids get so obsessed and wrapped around the axle about specific things. And what he started talking about was like, oh, well, you mean like when they get really obsessed with like a broader topic like space or animals? And I was like, no. I think that's cool too. But like when kids just get like really obsessed with like a singular thing, like they love this one type of sandwich, or they have this one singular outfit that they wear all the time, or root beer. I had a friend in high school I played soccer with. He was obsessed with craft soda. He knew everything about craft soda. He knew the best craft sodas to get. Was like trying to track down, it's like sneakerheads who get obsessed about stuff. But and I think for kids, it can be even like, they're just like collecting some same shape and color rock that they're just like walking around searching for endlessly. And man, I think that type of like interest and obsession is so fun. And then, I was talking to my buddy, and he said something to the extent of, well, it's just easier to do as a kid because you have nothing else going on. And to some extent, I think that is really true. You don't have to like worry about paying the mortgage as the kid, and you don't have to worry about whatever. That being said, I think as you get older, you need to not let that be the excuse. We talked about we talked about this the other day. We talked about limitations. Again, I think it's so powerful, the language you use with yourself. Kids can do that because they have all the time in the world. Well, you know what? Yeah, they might not have as many locked-in responsibilities as you do, or external responsibilities that you feel you place upon yourself, you feel are placed upon you. But as a kid, I think you got a lot going on. You got like the imaginary friend hangout time. You got run away from home time from 12 to 1, and then you got sneaking, get into the house and get some snacks time from 1 to 2, and then you got a lot on your plate as a kid. There's a lot going on. For sure. Watch, 30 minutes of your favorite movie and then leave it running time as a kid. That's important. So I think that's, language I would want to avoid using with yourself. Is like, wow, they can do this because they have all this. Because the fun thing about being an adult is you actually have resources to pursue your obsessions. And man, I don't know if I've talked about this friend before, but you know, he just was like into like I am too, but like, you know, Legos and action figures and video games. And, you know, as a younger kid, it's like every paycheck is like, I'm going to get, you know, this paycheck is the 1/4 to getting the new controller for this new video game system. And now as an adult, he ended up getting a, you know, really good job and super smart guy. And one day we caught up and we hadn't talked in a while, sent me a picture of his gaming room, and he has like every single system, and he's got like a billion Legos everywhere. It just must be so fun, satisfying thing when you're younger to like not have that. And it's those little things, I think. And he's, you know, he's not just, he's got like an awesome family too. So he's doing, you know, he's got all this stuff, which is great, you know, full life. But anyway, it is cool. And it's probably, you know, easier from our perspective now, looking back on it and being like, wow, it's just so easy to be interested in this thing as such and such age with such and such less responsibilities. Well, get interested in the damn thing again. It'll be all right. You know, let yourself make time for it. You're still going to do the other stuff too, because you've been doing it for a long time. That habit's built. But get interested in the thing again, whatever it is. It's nice, man. It's fun, and it sure is refreshing. And, you know, careful with that language of how you tell yourself can't do. And, you know, don't have time for that thing. Well, what if you did? What if you made time? More tomorrow.